Today, it's good to have us all here once again this beautiful Saturday. Yes, we didn't come on Tuesday or Thursday rather because we had a member of our community that a dear person to us that lost a loved one. So we lost a loved one and we had to take a break just for condolences and to spend time with our member on our team. So we're families here. We're families, and it's always interesting and uh, amazing how we have to carry ourselves and show ourselves support and love. So regardless of we hosting this series or how big and fast growing our community is, we are beyond just different groups of people. We are families. We are a community. We are royalties. All right, so that's that. Thank you once again for joining everybody. How's your Saturday going? I hope that you are having an amazing weekend. I'm wishing you a restful. I hope you get some rest this weekend as well. It's going to be needed, and I hope you put in all the work as well. For people, entrepreneurs, most of those clients who's been busy all week, they are going to be active and available this weekend. So it's time to cash out, not just party. All right. So welcome once again, everybody, to Quantum Africa series. So it is a weekly series that we've been having different discussions around several things for the past couple of weeks. Right, we've had discussions around several topics. We've had several speakers join in to share informations, and we've also made it a thing where we don't just come on here, just like you see the flyers, like we're projecting on the screen, and we have different topics that we talk about every week, right? So we are trying to make it a thing, make it more interesting, right? That we don't just come on here and talk about the topics. Like today, for those of us who will be joining us or joining us, uh, kindly, I'd appreciate it if you can drop your name and where you're joining in from on the comment section. We'll be happy to, we'll be happy to have you here in our midst. We're happy to have you here in our midst. If you're a first timer, welcome, welcome. Thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, everybody. It's good to have you all here. Welcome. All right. Yeah, for if you're joining us for the first time, this is the Quantum Africa series. Now, if you're asking what's the Quantum Africa series, all right, so it is a series that's presented by the Quantum Africa. Quantum Africa is one of the fastest growing organizations working towards not just simplifying some real estate processes, but ensuring that it's going smoothly. And one of our vision is to ensure that we help make property sales fast. That's we are working on ensuring that we sell properties within 24 hours using AI and robotics. So around these are solutions, we've been able to encounter and see a lot of things that's been happening and things that we're working on improving. Right. So we talked about why don't we just talk about all these things happening, the past events, the new events. We see how we are all transitioning into the global, or rather the digital economy, or we are in digital economy, and it's transitioning even better because of the daily improvements and enhancements. So we're having conversations around all these updates, the things that have been done, the things that are yet to be done, the things that are going to be done. Right. So it's a weekly blockchain AI robotic conversation on Africa real estate market. However, we ensure that we shed light beyond just Africa real estate. Let's see. Thank you. You're welcome. Uh, Sorry about that. All right, so we have these conversations, and it's been quite interesting. It's always interesting. So today we're going to be talking about, will robots eventually build houses faster than humans? Wow. Will robots eventually build houses faster than humans? It's this is a very, very interesting conversation, but just to shed more light for people who are joining in for the first time, today we're having this conversation on YouTube Live right now. We're streaming across YouTube. However, we have two sessions, like I mentioned, every week. One on Saturdays, which is on YouTube Live, 7 p.m. West African time, and another on Thursday, which is on X Space, 7 p.m. same time West African time. All right, so to go down to the meat of things, all right, are you guys excited about this conversation? It's not going to take time, however, it's going to be a very, very interesting one, like it always has been. Will robots eventually build houses faster than humans? Short answer for me personally. Everybody is welcome to drop their, this is a discussion. It's not just me coming here and just telling you my opinions or telling you statistics and researches, right? We're open to your opinions. So share your opinions. What do you think? Will robots eventually build houses faster than humans? What am I seeing? I'm seeing yes, I'm seeing no, right? So for me personally, I'm going to share my insight, and the comment section is open for you to share your insights and drop your opinions and all of that, right? I think the short answer is yes, because in many cases they already do, right? But the bigger question is not whether robots can build houses faster than humans. The real question is, can robots build houses faster, cheaper, safer, and better than humans at scale? And the answer is increasingly, still there, stay on the call, stay in the call. All right, sorry about that. I just had to cross check. Please, if you're on YouTube and you can hear me, kindly drop some reactions so I'll show that you guys can hear me clearly. All right, okay. All right, okay, that's great. Yeah, so back to the conversations, because Uh, the answer is increasingly becoming yes for certain parts of construction, right? Because, however, the complete replacement of human builders is still a long way, right? It's still a long way away, especially in Africa. Yes, because we know how things are moving very, very slow in Africa on the aspect of innovation. Innovation, I'm telling you, enhanced innovations with the robotics and all. Because what is happening, instead of a gradual shift towards human workers plus robots, human workers plus AI, human workers and automation, rather than robots completely replacing the construction works, because there are a lot of works we think we're still going to need humans for. I think right now, right, we still need them doing the mixing. Maybe the measurement is something that robots could easily work on. So it is something that I feel like it is going to be a huge collaboration, just the same way a lot of things now. People are saying AI is going to replace your jobs. AI is going to, yes, AI is going to replace some jobs. However, AI, those jobs that they're replacing, is not just replacing it, but they're working smarter with your human input and the artificial intelligence and all of that. So anybody that you're in any firm or any organization, is a very, very big encouragement to take AI as seriously. It's not really going to take your job, but imagine you having the knowledge of AI, how far it go. But back to our conversation. First, the construction industry has a problem, right? And what do I mean? Because we would agree that construction is one of the world's oldest industries. Yet, surprisingly, it remains one of the least digitized. Right? Because think about it, for decades, many construction methods have changed very little. Builders still face labor shortages, right? Cost overruns. You start a project and at the end of the day, you're telling me, more, I can't pay for what it's cost right now because cement have added money. This is leading to delays in construction. Safety risk is still there. Material waste is still there. Fence, this, that, houses collapses. They're having several productivity challenges. But let me give you an interesting piece of information, right? According to research from McKinsey and Company, as construction productivity has historically lagged behind sectors like manufacturing and technology, right? This productivity gap is one reason automation is attracting enormous investment, because, mind you, I have seen several videos. There was video I saw. I don't know if it's in China, because I know China. Oh Jesus Christ, they've gone very, very far with their construction or embedding AI and robotics into their construction. I saw a video of AI molding blocks. Like Jesus Christ, the precision and speed is remarkable, right? So some of the people, some of these nations, they have started embedding this and putting this to work, right? You'd see how innovative, how fast and how transformative this is. So we all know that the world needs more housing, and it's the better and the faster that we can embed this into whatever we're doing, right? It's going to help us reduce the housing deficit. For Nigeria, for instance, now we have, I think it's around 20 trillion. It should be around 20 trillion. Uh, I think it's 20 trillion. It's not 20 million. Let me fact check that. Uh, Nigerian housing deficit. I said it's a confirm. It's the conversation we're having here, but we also want to be sure that uh, we are we are getting our facts right. Exactly. Nigeria faces an effective housing deficit of nearly 28 million units, driven by an official shortage of 15 million unbuilt homes and 13 million substandard or defective structures. Just imagine if we can embed AI into building our houses, right? Do you know how they'll be able to build houses this scale? So, but the traditional construction methods alone may struggle to meet these demands in Nigeria alone. Talk about other nations and other countries. And it's projected that Nigeria, by the year, I think in the next 25 years, right, by year 2050, will be three times what we are. Imagine we're almost a 300 million uh, capacity, or 300 million number of people in Nigeria. And they're saying by 2050, we'll probably be at 1 billion. Ew, Jim. And where's the houses? So these are things we need to embed. And again, the global housing challenge, for instance, the world is urbanizing rapidly. By 2050, they are just projected for Nigeria, but in nearly 70% of humanity is expected to live in urban areas, according to projections from the United Nations. And what this means is there's more homes, more infrastructure, more roads, more commercial buildings. All these things must be constructed. The challenge is not just about building. I think the challenge is scaling. Can human labor alone meet this demand? How many workers they want to do? Where people are even looking at how they want to improve what they're doing. All right. So many experts believe that automation will play a major role. And what do you guys think? Do you guys think that automation is required in the Nigerian, or rather in the global housing challenge that we're facing? What do you guys think? Chris, can you drop your comments in the drop your all right. Thank you so much for sharing. That's a lot. Yes, I'm seeing response. I'm from Institute. So that's a lot. And what do we mean by construction by? Because it was like construction by robots. And if you didn't hear me when I mentioned that, I saw a video of an AI, not even AI, robots, for instance. It was just like laying bricks, and the precision of it, just laying the bricks so fast and just just laying it brick by brick, layer by layer, very, very fast. And the precision, the human can't move at that scale. So when we say, what do we mean by construction robots? When people hear robots builders, they often imagine maybe humanoid robots carrying blocks around the site, so they are mixing cement, so they are pouring water, right? This is only one possibility. It's not like it can't happen. Eventually, it's probably will. But construction robotics already includes bricklaying, like I mentioned about the one I saw, concrete printing robots, surveying drones, surveying properties real fast without humans having to do journey. Yesterday, interesting story. Yesterday, I was yesterday I went for inspection of a property, and we took a surveyor because he wanted to put beacons in the air. And Jesus, imagine we just going inside the bush. Me personally, there's a video. I was just going inside the bush, cutting grasses to be able to make way and to get in. And Jesus, it wasn't as easy, right? It wasn't an easy task. It was very, very stressful, very hectic. Something that, if we were to automate that task for a robot to be able to check the beacon number, probably like a drone, it was going to take less than 30 minutes. We spent over 4 hours trying to do all of this. So it was a lot of work, right? So we having drones that does surveying is going to make the construction work easy. Autonomous excavators, robotic welding systems, river tying robots, site monitoring drones, material moving robots. Like, the list is endless. It doesn't have to be a robot building the entire house, but imagine the little work by work, measuring all the stuff. Like, many of these systems are already operating today. So the faster we adopt it, the better we can move at scale. Now, some of the most famous examples, right? let's say for instance 3D printed houses. One of the most exciting developments is robotic 3D construction printing. I don't know if you guys have seen that, and I've literally, if you've seen the there's I think it's Mission Impossible 4 thereabouts, where they were in the desert and they're trying to print people's faces, and some clips you see some I don't know if you guys have seen, if you have seen, whether in a movie or real, any 3D printing device, right, that they could use. Some people use it to make spoons, right, and it feels like real, right? So just imagine, instead of laying blocks one by one, now back to our conversation, instead of laying blocks one by one, there's a giant robotic system printing walls layer by layer using specialized concrete mixtures. Jesus. The results can be remarkable. It will be remarkable. So some structures can be completed significantly faster than traditional methods. And I've been seeing this lately with the Chinese company now, what they're doing. Jesus, how fast they are moving, the way they're building houses. I saw one, they built a skyscraper in under, I don't know if it was 24 to 48 hours, right? Something that is taking people to 24 months, to almost how many months to build, even in Dubai. All right, so and let's take it back to some practicals. Like, let's say companies leading the revolution. Like, let's USA, for instance. There's Icon. Icon became globally known for its large scale 3D printing homes. Most of the 3D printing devices, whether on films I've seen, and most of them are carried out in the USA. So there's the company Icon that's is globally known for its large scale 3D printing homes, right? And this company has demonstrated neighborhoods containing multiple 3D printed homes and has attracted significant investors. I would have loved to show you guys more about this, but I think it might just take our time. So I'm trying to wrap it up, but I'll be sure to drop some of all this in the comment section. So are you guys enjoying this conversation, this discussion? If you are, kindly drop some reaction, show some love, and also share this to at least 10 persons. Share it to more 10 persons. We're not going to take more time, but at least they could join in and join us and have this interesting conversation that we are having. Automation is not a question, and it is a requirement. Yes, Mr. Joe, thank you so much for that. Mr. Joe says automation, and he's on YouTube, so you can also, people are dropping some comments on YouTube. If you're joining in from YouTube, kindly feel free to drop your own comments. That's one. Secondly, share this across, to your friends, family, across your social media pages, right, so that people can join in on the conversation. A lot of people did not go for one bed today; they're just at home. All right, so join in. Let them have this interesting conversations that is banging, because right now everything around automation, innovation, the digital economy is the conversation that people want to have. So be the person that's going to help somebody join in to have an interesting conversation. All right, back to what we're saying. I talked about Icon because I'm trying to mention some of companies leading the revolution with this construction thing. There's also Cobalt International. Cobalt International is a Denmark organization, and the Cobalt manufactures construction 3D printers used around the world. So their systems have been deployed across multiple continents. Just imagine who Icon, that's globally known for its large scale 3D printing homes, and they might be getting some of their construction 3D printers from Cobalt. So there's also the Apiscon in USA. They are known for mobile robotic construction systems capable of printing buildings components on site. Imagine you're trying to shovels and all, they are printing all those things. So there are a lot of there's built robotics. This built robotics is focused on autonomous heavy construction equipment. Their technology helps automate excavation and earth moving. There's a lot. There's Boston Dynamics, or although not strictly a home building company, their robots are increasingly used for inspections, monitoring, and industrial operations. So I think you want to look them up. Actually, it's a very, very interesting thing. They say they're the world leading robotics company. So are robots already faster than humans? right? For specific tasks, absolutely they are very fast. You can't compare. Imagine tasks you're trying to automate or you're trying to do, and you could just use automation and 2 seconds you're done, right? So it is not an argument, or it's absolutely consider bricklaying. A skilled human bricklayer can lay 100 blocks per day. Some specialized bricklaying robots can place thousands under ideal conditions. Like for repetitive work, robots often win. That's not a discussion. That's not even an argument. Why? Because robots, they do not get tired. A bricklayer now might lay 50 bricks and is looking for where you buy bread and Fanta and just eat and relax, or buy a wagon and be all right. But this robot, Jesus, you're just walking until your battery get low. The battery gets low, they recharge it, and imagine when some sort of start powering these AIs with the sun. If they're working under the sun, regardless, morning, day, and night. So they do not need breaks at all. They're working consistently and they can operate for extended periods of time, unlike humans. Imagine me, you're telling me to go and mix cement and sand. If I mix two or three, I'll be shouting blood, blood, milk and malt, right? But that's just it. But then again, that we would agree that, regardless of humans and robots, there's always a catch. For instance, now construction is not one task; it's a hundred of tasks. Building a house, or developing a house or a project, it requires a lot of things. Let's say from the starting, excavation of the land, the foundation work, the structural systems, electrical work, there's plumbing, there's roofing, there's finishing, there's like, which one do you know? Please drop it in the comment section. Which ones do you know? Which works do you know that, you know a house, building a house, what it requires, what are the many activities? So there are many of these activities remain difficult to automate fully, right? That is why complete robot constructions remains rare. But it's not like it's not happening. It's rare because there are a lot of work that even humans needed. And what Elon Musk has said about robots, right? Because Elon Musk has repeatedly argued that advanced robots or advanced robotics could become one of the largest industries in human history. His vision, for instance, for Tesla Optimus includes robots performing repetitive and physical demanding work, right? If such robots become affordable and reliable, construction could become one of the industries most affected. For him now, his broader argument is that labor shortages and demographic changes will increase demand for automation. So if for instance now everybody starts saying, "Oh, mom, me, I don't want to do this laboring work again. The pay is not getting good. It's not getting paid." You realize that the changes will increase demand for automation. Everybody wants to be getting those robots eventually if they become affordable, which some organizations are actually doing, but it's rare because it's not all that affordable. So if we're saying, why does this even matters for real estate? Why does it matter? Now, many people, right? Interesting fact, pay attention to this. Many people think that robotics only affects construction companies, and that's not true, right? Listen to this. Robotic construction could influence the housing of affordability, development timelines, infrastructure delivery, real estate profitability, urban growth. In other words, robotics may affect the entire property ecosystem. And that's actually fact. But then again, aside from the fact that there are, all this matters, there are lots of benefits, and some of the possible benefits is like, let's say, for instance, faster delivery. One of the biggest frustrations in real estate is project delay, right? Either from costing or wanting, or developer swallow shovel, or developer fall from up, or developer know it have to no food, or malaria, or cement have added money, or overnight, right? Or XYZ, or excavation or fall inside canal, or there are several things. No money they have come and put caskets in front of your development, right? But automation could significantly reduce the building times. So when a project is taking time and cost is of things are increasing, and the person saying, "I want to take a break," right? Just imagine if it's taking them to build or to lay 1,000 bricks in a day. And because of that, it's going to take them like 6 months to lay the entire bricks of the property. In those 6 months, things will increase. Cement prices will go high. Now imagine their AI that are not resting. These guys can build probably 10,000 in a day, right? So automation could significantly reduce the building times. Developers could deliver projects faster. Investors could see returns sooner. Buyers could move in earlier into their properties, right? There's also the other benefits of lower costs. Labor represents a major portion of construction costs because you need workers, right? Now imagine automation. Automation may reduce some expenses over time. Whether those savings are passed to buyers is another question. All right. There's also improved safety. Construction remains one of the most dangerous industries. I was just talking about how some of your delays in your real estate project might be that developer swallow shovel, so he's hospitalized for a couple of months, right? Or someone fall from up, or hammer fall from up and he hits one of the workers in the leg, right? But with robots, robots can handle hazardous environments. They can do repetitive heavy lifting, because I don't know how those guys are just like robots that you can kick and they'll fall, but then again they can lift a truck, right? So all the dangerous inspection I was talking about me yesterday, I was bush, forest, inside forest, regardless of what they're saying, indicator and all, regardless of entering, cutting bushes and trying to set beacons and all, that's dangerous surveying. This work that these surveying guys are doing, it's very dangerous. Now imagine there's robots, they can handle that and you not be thinking about anything. This may reduce injuries, so it has improved safety. There's also better precision. Robots can repeatedly perform tasks with high accuracy, no competition. This can reduce errors, material waste. You measure this and you throw it away, and that. The rework of doing it again after those mistakes, robots can help. There's also housing at scale. Countries facing major housing shortages could potentially benefit from faster construction systems. If Nigeria can embed this, there are 28 million housing deficit, 28 million units housing deficit. Imagine how fast they'll be able to hit that. And regardless, it can work. Now, let's even talk more about Africa. Let's talk more, because this is where the conversation becomes fascinating. Let's pay attention to this, but we're not going to take time here. Just very shortly, right? Will Africa adopt robotic construction? Because I'm saying, just imagine Nigeria can actually adopt this. They currently have a 28 million 28 million units housing deficit, right? But will you think Africa will adopt robotic construction? Me, I think yes, but probably more slowly than some developed markets. Why? Number one, labor is still relatively affordable. In many African countries, labor costs remain lower than in, let's say, for instance, North America, Europe, or parts of Asia. Right? This reduces the economic pressure to automate everything. While this might be even relative to other fields, right? Mechanic, other work, but let's just keep it to labor. We know how the pay is. It's very, very low. The other day I was hearing how some guys were discussing, because they were discussing how the people they hire to pack sands, when they go for dredging and they pack these sands on these trucks, wherever they're going to offload it, not all the trucks are automatic to, pour the sands out. Even when they go for the dredging, right? They have to unload the sands from the ground to the truck, and it is some laborers. I think they said they're paying them like I think it's 5,000 per loading that uh truck. Do you know how many shovel you have to throw of sand into that thing before you can fill it up? It's probably like maybe 1,000 or more, if not even like 5,000. And you pay me 5,000 naira, that's 1 naira per shovel. Jesus Christ, right? So imagine this reduces the economic pressure to automate things immediately. The same thing with, let's say, high equipment costing. Advanced construction robots are expensive. Importing them can be more expensive. So imagine when we start making ours, right? The same thing, infrastructure challenges. Robotic systems often require stable electricity, reliable internet, technical expertise, maintenance support. These remain uneven across many regions. Nigeria, for instance, where is the steady power supply until you empower your robots? just putting the facts here. So skill gap. Operating construction robots requires engineers, technicians, software specialists, and these skills are still developing across much of Africa. And the ones that are developing it are looking for, you know, foreign gigs. You get me? So there's still skill gap, but Africa has a huge opportunity with this. All this, there is in there are gaps because Africa faces one of the world's largest housing deficits. For example, Nigeria is frequently estimated to have a housing shortfall running into millions of units, like I mentioned, at around 28 million, right? And that figure, you could confirm it from Google. The shortage is of 50 million unbuilt homes and around 13 million substandard and defective structures. So this creates strong incentive for innovations. If robotic construction can build faster, reduce waste, improve scalability, then adoption could accelerate the shortage of that housing deficit. You get me? Right? So, guys, are we here with me? Are we here? Are we here? Please drop roofing, file exactly roofing, filling, all those plenty things. Are works, that are still needed to be filled in. Just imagine if all this thing could be automated. And so African robotics and construction pioneers, right? While Africa is still early in this journey, innovation is growing massively, right? If you guys know of Gearbox, I don't hear of, let's say Gearbox now in your cars. Now, Gearbox has helped support hardware and robotics uh, development in East Africa. There's also Emisi 3D, right? So I'm basically talking about some of the African robotics and construction pioneers right now in Africa, right? So you could look them up. You could look, I mentioned I don't know, we had a breakup there. But I mentioned Gearbox, I mentioned Emisi 3D is helping expand awareness of advanced digital technologies, including immersive technologies that connect to future construction workflows. There's also South Africa. South Africa continues to host some of the continent's strongest engineering and automation ecosystem. So the foundation is being laid. So it's not like it's not going to be, it's not going to happen. It will happen. However, maybe at a slow rate, but it will happen. And what jobs are most at risk? Because everybody's always thinking, am I still live, guys? Am I still live? I need to confirm that because I want to know what the system is doing. Okay, I think I am. Yes, thank you guys for the feedback. So what jobs are most at risk? Everybody's like, AI is taking my job. Doesn't mean AI will take my construction jobs. Now, construction jobs involving highly repetitive tasks may face great pressure, right? Examples include bricklaying, right? Bricklaying, tiling. Tiling is a work that could be easily, done, taken over by AI. So tilers, don't get scared. Just find a way to innovate. Repetitive material handling, basic site surveying, rather entering bush, right? Routine inspections. It could be easily. These are tasks that could go under treasure. But what jobs may become more valuable? Demand may increase for robotic engineers. So imagine you're a tiler and all this. The robots that will be laying those bricks. You can engineer them. You can walk around and you can maintain them. Construction technologists, AI specialists, site automation managers, smart infrastructure planners, real estate developers who understand technology, using drone for survey, using drone for inspection, XYZ. These are jobs that are valuable. These are demands that are going to increase. So you want to position yourself there, right? So, and the biggest myth, because I always myth, because I say the biggest myth, robots will eliminate all construction jobs. Relax, but history suggests otherwise. Technology often changes jobs more than it eliminates them. Right. So the tractor did not eliminate farming exactly, right? The tractor did not eliminate farming that they brought in and people were considering, oh, tractors going to take my, but it made it easier. So computers did not eliminate offices. I remember at some point where people were, you know, they brought in the early days of computers, and they brought in computers, and some of the secretaries and all those office representatives that weren't able to adopt, they didn't lose their job, right? Or the ones that lost their job, they lost their job not to the computers, they lost their job to the people who could use the computer. The same thing with the printers, the same thing with every innovation, same thing with the tractors, right? So the internet did not eliminate businesses. Instead, the jobs evolved. So that's the same thing. Construction will likely evolve too. So what should African realtors and developers do now? One, study construction technology, right? And please, I'm going to list some things out. Please, if you have other opinions, just be dropping. What should African developers and realtors do now that there's innovation in the space and robotics likely to get into construction or have gotten into construction? Study construction technology. That's one. The future of real estate increasingly intersects with technology. Two, watch 3D printing closely. This may become one of the most disruptive building technologies of the next 2 decades, the next 20 years. That printing technology is very important. If anybody can guide by that printer, Jesus Christ, it could sell you your phone. It was all who use 3D printing, print your phone and hand it to you, carry your phone and just be going. Why am I right? Like, it's interesting. You personally could have doubles of everything. This may become is one of the building technologies of next decade. Learn about smart cities. Construction robotics is part of a broader, smarter infrastructure movement, right? There's building technology partnership. Developers who partner with innovators early may gain repetitive advantages. Think long term, right? Robotic construction is not just about building faster, it is about creating entirely new development models. Now, the biggest mistake Africa can make, right? The biggest mistake is assuming that robotic construction is a foreign concept that won't affect us. The same thing was once said about mobile banking, right? See the mobile banking now. The same thing was said about smartphones. The same thing was said about social media. The same thing was said about AI. Yet it all became mainstream. So my final conclusion will be that will robotics eventually build houses faster than humans? Please drop your question, drop your answer, drop your suggestions. I'm excited to listen to what you guys have to share. Yes, yes, let's keep it coming. Thank you. Thank you. Let's keep it coming. Thank you for your inputs. Yeah, so for many construction tasks, they already do. Robots will eventually build house stuff. They're already building houses faster than humans for some construction tasks. Now, for complete homes, increasingly, yes, they are increasingly. Like I mentioned, how China was able to build a skyscraper in one day. It was automated. Most of the tasks they were automated, right? But the future is unlikely to be robots versus humans. The future is likely to be humans empowered by robots versus the humans who are not empowered by robots. So the developer of the future may combine human creativity, AI planning, robotic construction, digital property systems, right, smart infrastructure into one single ecosystem. And the countries that learn how to combine these technologies effectively may build housing faster, more affordably, and at a scale previously impossible. Just like I was talking about China, that is like, do you know what it is to build over like 50 floors in one day? I think around 30 to 50 floors. So China might be one of the countries that is fast developing in construction due to how they've been able to automate stuffs. All right, automate the construction. So the future construction site may still have people, but alongside them may be fleets of robots quietly transforming how the world builds. So guys, it still goes down to you. What do you think? Will robots eventually build houses faster than humans? And what countries or organization from wherever you're joining? Because I know we have people listening to us from everywhere across the continent. People from China, people from different parts of Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, several francophone countries, Nigeria, Ghana, right? So in your countries or things you've observed, what organizations, companies, countries do you think are adopting AI and robotics in their constructions, and what are your opinions about that? Please let's share that. Why, uh, let's drop our comments about that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, thank you guys, thank you so much. Okay, so it's been an amazing conversation so far, and I just love having these conversations with you all. Sometimes I just get to listen when someone else is sharing. Uh, it's always interesting having conversations around the digital economy and the innovations of technology and humans, and it's just so interesting. And like I've always shared, and I will tell you guys, these conversations, as we come to the end of it, it is not just a conversation we have just today. And interestingly, as we're sharing on live, you get to watch the replay just in case you didn't listen to this early. You can also come back to it and listen to it. And if you want to join in on our live conversations, we have these conversations every Saturdays on YouTube, 7 p.m. West African time, and every Thursday on X Space, that's Twitter, 7 p.m. West African time. And just in case you'll be interested, because ought to we ought to have a book review. We always do book and movie reviews as well. But interestingly, we will not be holding that today. So we're going to be holding it next week, right? However, we have book reviews and movie reviews, alongside a lot of other things, uh, going down to uh, uh, classes. We also hold classes to help empower entrepreneurs, real estate professionals, and to help them be better in their field, close more sales, do more deals, and also give tech knowledge for people who are looking at innovating as well. So all this happens inside the Quantum Africa community, the inner circle, because it's not everything we're always coming on here to share. All right, we share as much as possible, but you get more time of every of the leader, every of the member when you join our community. You can join our community on Telegram. You can join our channel. You could join our community through our channel on WhatsApp. All you just have to do, or you can even join our community or join us, follow us through all our social media platforms with Quantum Africa. Quantum Africa. Previously, blockchain Realtor Africa, because a lot of people knew us with blockchain Realtor Africa. So when you can't find Quantum Africa, we're still transitioning, doing our rebranding. So you might want to look up BRA Africa or BR Africa or Blockchain Realtor Africa. However, our current branding and name is Quantum Africa. That's why it's a Quantum Africa series, right? So you can join our Quantum Africa community on Telegram, or you can follow us on all social media platforms so you can get access to our inner circle, join our conversations, join our trainings, so you can gain massive knowledge. Believe me, it is entirely worth it. Entirely worth it. Interestingly, we have a conference that's coming up in the couple of months to come. We're going to be start putting out we've already started putting out some you can make reservations to join in, and you eventually get noted, uh you get a notice if you got in, so that you can have more information about the event. So it's going to be the Quantum Africa conference that's coming up in let me just wait. Let me not give you a date, but it's coming in later in the month, right? Within November, probably it's going to be earlier, but we're going to share this information out. And some of the information is already out there, so you want to follow up, you want to follow us with us so that you can get carried along. So thank you, everybody, once again. My name is Jake Iheye, and I'm CEO of Quantum Africa. We have a lot of amazing people in our community, our team. It's a community, so everybody is a leader, right? I have a lot of people who are just joining. I'm still looking forward to as leaders. We have a lot of people who have been there guiding us through. So it's very interesting. So you want to join us? You want to join in, have a peek of what we're doing, and believe me, you are not going to want to leave. Right? Thank you, everybody. I think this comes to the end of today's discussion. Thank you once again, everybody, and do have an amazing rest of the evening. Remember, do a couple of things. One of them is get some rest because you need it so you can refuel, and get back on track. Secondly, once you start getting those energies, start reaching out to your clients and prospects, all your potential partners and associates. It is weekend, so people are resting and they have time to focus on whatever business they've showed interest in and close that deal. Right? Don't wait until Monday. Reach out this weekend and close that deal. I'm wishing you good luck and do have an amazing rest of your weekend. Bye bye.